SmackDown Hot Takes, let's go. We got my man, Eddie Mania. He says, I can't believe they let Carmelo take the pin. He's the U.S. champion. Tiz Mickey agrees and says, so what was the point of having Melo take the pin tonight? I'm sure he's not going to win the triple threat next week. He's fighting Trick Williams and Damian Priest. So it's like, yeah, so now he loses this week. He doesn't win next week. And then literally any of those other jobbers in the match could have taken the pin. It was a 10-man tag match. I don't understand why the U.S. champion had to lose. Now, you could say, well, it builds intrigue. Carmelo lost, and now he's on the ropes, I guess. That's the justification. But, like, that is such lazy storytelling. Oh, just have him lose, and then that will further the story. No, there are so many other ways to make it interesting, even. But be it as it may, they just let the U.S. champ take the loss on a team that had Ilya Dragunov. Fine, we want to keep him strong. Don't have him take the loss then. But you got Matt Cardona. You got Apollo Crews. You cannot tell me Apollo Crews is not a jobber. Hey, I loved him as the Prince, Apollo Crews, but like the dude's a jobber. And kind of Matt Cardona was brought back to be a mid-card jobber. Like, cards on the table, people. And Shinsuke Nakamura, as much as I love Shinsuke, they have not done him any favors in recent years. There were 3 guys that could have eaten the loss, but nope, they let Carmelo do it. And now, here's the deal. You can let Carmelo Hayes take the loss, but you gotta do it correctly. You gotta do it smart. You could have had it easy. Ilya Dragunov has that flying headbutt, right? He could have done his flying headbutt into Carmelo Hayes. Boom, right there. Then Carmelo Hayes could take the pin because the partners couldn't get along, and then we could have furthered that storyline. And he could be saying, well, you know, Tama Tonga, he got the pin. Now it's justified that he gets a title shot. No, it isn't. He does an open challenge. Literally, anybody can just walk out from another company, even TNA, can just come out and say, I want a title shot. So Tama Tonga didn't need to pin Carmelo Hayes to justify a title shot. He just needs to be first in line. He needs to set his alarm 5 minutes earlier so he beats whoever is at the curtain when the bell rings, or when Carmelo Hayes says, hey, who am I fighting tonight? No, we could have had a story between Ilya and Carmelo Hayes. Or let Carmelo Hayes accidentally hit Ilya Dragunov, and then Ilya takes the pin. Because then Ilya could be like, wait a second, you had Miz help you like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now you're accidentally hitting me? We could have sown dissension between Melo and Ilya Dragunov. Then Tonga could have got the pin and still been like, well, I'm the uncrowned champion. There were ways to do this, but nope, they went the lazy route. It was just like, have Carmelo Hayes take the pin, and that'll create drama. No, it didn't create any drama. It's a head scratcher that the U.S. champ lost. You could have created drama if you had spent about 30 more seconds actually thinking of a storyline. All right, let's see what some other hot takes are after I tell you how to win this U.S. title. All you got to do is comment below. I'm going to give it away at 20,000 subscribers. So you got to subscribe, you got to comment, you got to hit that bell, ding, 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 notification, and you can win this U.S. title right here. I'm not gonna knock on it because it's pointy and it hurts, but it's not a toy, it's a replica. All right, next hot take. Million Matthew says they unintentionally buried Sami Zayn to overpush Cody. Man, I am going to be everybody's most hated YouTuber today because I don't think Sami got buried, honestly. I think this furthers the story of Sami Zayn crashing out because he can never win the big one. Now, I do think there needs to be a personality change with Sami Zayn because tonight, when he did the right thing, it cost him a victory. Cody Rhodes capitalized on it when Sami didn't allow Drew McIntyre to help him, and then he actually haluva kicked Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes took advantage and crossroaded him, took the pin. And now Sami could be like, oh man, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop being the good guy, and I need to start focusing on myself. And then you got Trick Williams over here trashing him on the microphone. I think it's great. Honestly, I'm actually interested to see where Sami is going here. Sami Zayn is not Super Sami right now. He is Sami Zayn, like just losing, and he has adversity. He has to overcome stuff. I don't like watching Sami Zayn beat up the entire faction of the MFTs. I would rather see Sami taking some L's and seeing how he's gonna rebound from it. And then let's talk Super Cody. Super Cody, overpush Cody. I don't know. When you have a baby face, you're supposed to push him. Cody Rhodes has suffered some losses lately, and so, he suffers some losses. He suffers some wins, victories. It can't just be Drew McIntyre overcoming Cody over and over and over again. If Cody would have won the 3 stages of hell against Drew McIntyre, then I would be 100% agreeing with you right now and be like, oh my God, Cody Rhodes again just wins and wins and wins, never loses. But he lost. And 1 week, Vince McMahon would overcome Stone Cold Steve Austin. The next week, Stone Cold Steve Austin would overcome Vince McMahon. I believe that Drew McIntyre came in, he had a great, solid plan, and I don't think he didn't look strong at all. I think Drew McIntyre looked strong, but the beauty of it is, Cody looked strong too. So now when they fight each other again, you got 2 opponents who are looking strong. It's just this week, Cody ended up overcoming him. Well, I'm sick of Cody Rhodes. I mean, we were all sick of John Cena one time, myself included. I was sick of John Cena. And then 13 years later, I'm crying, literally crying tears out of my eye ducats as he is getting tapped out. All right. So I don't know what to tell you guys and gals. It's like, I get it. Cody might not be your favorite, but just look at it from just a perspective of, he's a lot of people's favorites though. He is a lot of people's favorites. He's a main guy. And what should we just bury him now? Should we job out Cody Rhodes to everybody and make him just a chump? The guy who beat Roman Reigns? Should we make that guy a chump? I don't think so. He's a valid main event guy, and main event guys should do main event things. I'm glad he lost his title. God, am I glad he lost his title. But I don't want to just all right, back to the mid-card Stardust. Although I wouldn't mind a Stardust return. I did actually like Stardust back in the day. And the beauty about it is, Cody looks strong, Drew looks strong, Sami Zayn, his character develops, and Jacob Fatu, well, he got cheated out. He got cheated out of a victory because Drew attacked him too. So even Jacob Fatu now has reason to still be involved in this entire affair. Carmichael says, Trick sure is the man to push to the moon, but when I watch him wrestle a match, I just feel like he's missing that extra oomph that makes him stand out. Maybe he needs to be better at selling. I personally think his wrestling is fine because I'm such a character-driven, storyline-driven guy. I get it, banger after banger after banger, but I'm way more interested now in a Trick Williams match against anyone than I would be Axiom versus Johnny Gargano, honestly, because I get it, those guys are great wrestlers and they could probably out wrestle Trick Williams, but I don't care. I love the smack talk that Trick does. I love that Trick, he does an interview before or a segment before his matches and just talks trash and trash and trash. So I love everything about Trick Williams right now, and I can see that he's not a 5-star wrestler, but he doesn't need to be, in my opinion. But I know you're not saying that he's a bad wrestler or anything, and you want to push to the moon. I'm not saying that you're saying that, but for me, I'll take a 3-star wrestler with personality any day of the week. Any day of the week. The Rock had some good matches, but he was never the greatest. And if you look at a Stone Cold Steve Austin match after after he got dropped on his head at SummerSlam, then like Stone Cold didn't really have any great matches either. Like, but we all loved those guys. But it doesn't hurt. I mean, Kurt Angle's one of my favorite of all time, and he was a master in the ring. So, like, I would love a 5-star wrestler with a 5-star personality. I'm just saying, I'll take a 3-star personality over a 5-star wrestler, if I had to choose. TTJC says the Liv Dom Valentine's Day thing was awesome. Wade saying nuggies. I loved the 10-man tag. Booked out of nowhere tag team match player. Kept me on my toes. I already addressed the tag match, but the Liv Dom stuff was brilliant. I loved it. Those are the little things that you can do to add to a storyline. I love that Liv hasn't decided, and just having them out there gave the match a uniqueness that it wouldn't have had without it. Kind of like what I said earlier with Carmelo Hayes taking the loss. They could have added Ilya Dragunov accidentally hitting him and had the same result. And this is how you do it. You had the same result of Jade Cargill winning, but you added a story beat to it by having this unique dinner date out there. Wrestle Don says, what good does it do for Jordynne Grace or Jade Cargill to just have Jade win clean with barely any story on the weekly episode of SmackDown? Really upset how they're fumbling Jordynne, and having Jade beat an unestablished mid-card wrestler doesn't help elevate her, neither of them. You're right, actually. Jade was the correct winner here, but the problem is these two shouldn't have been in a match together. Jordynne Grace, since coming from TNA, really hasn't really landed. Even in NXT, which is surprising because everything usually lands in NXT, but it's like they let Jordynne Grace like get these title matches just to lose, and it's not doing her any favors whatsoever. Here, it's some rookie that comes up to Jade Cargill, an established star. Whether or not Jordynne Grace is a better wrestler or has more tenure in the business, from a WWE Universe perspective, audience perspective, Jade is the established star, and Jordynne Grace is coming from the developmental territory of NXT. So in this instance, Jade is the veteran, okay, in storyline, kayfabe, and you just had the veteran just beat clean the upstart, and it's like, don't have the upstart go up against the champion. Have her go for the mid-card title. Julia's not doing anything. We could have split up a tag team and had somebody face Jade Cargill. Like, we didn't need to do this. You are right. This did not really help anyone in the situation. Raphael at Air says, R-Truth was diabolical during the backstage segment with Kit Wilson. I won't be surprised if R-Truth is mentoring Kit. If he is, awesome move. That would actually be great. Kit Wilson is definitely gonna be the comedic character for the next 10 years. This dude is so hilarious. And him and R-Truth, they do have good chemistry, but Kit Wilson and Obafemi have good chemistry too. So that is like unique when you can have good chemistry with every single person, no matter where they are on the card. The Kit Wilson stuff is genius and brilliant, and I love it. It was hilarious. And Damian Priest, when he's standing next to R-Truth, the dude cannot not laugh, and I think that's hilarious. Those two, like, just make them a tag team. Just make those two a tag team. Dirty Dom and Liv are one step away from doing Edge and Lita stuff. If you know, you know. The rated R superstar, and they are having the time of their lives and being an annoying heel couple. Yeah, and surprisingly, Dom got boos again. Now, they did eventually start cheering Dirty Dom, or however they do it. But yeah, he was booed, and I like that. I'm glad. Good job, audience, for playing along, because like, we all love Dirty Dom, but he's better when he can't talk. Like, he just is. And Liv Morgan, oh my god, she is such the perfect level of annoying. HLT. When Solo stole the Wyatts lantern, I was hoping they were going to do a spooky Solo, get possessed by the soul of the Fiend through his lantern storyline, which would have been cool. But now it's feeling more like I stole your shoes gimmick. Honestly, I like the I stole your shoes gimmick that Bronson Reed did earlier in the year. It's just they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything with it. I wish Bronson Reed was still stealing people's shoes. Now, granted, not everybody has a lantern to steal, so you can only steal one of those. But this was like, there should have been something. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad they didn't possess Solo Sikoa, though he probably would have made it work. I don't like too spooky magical stuff in my wrestling, but I do like creepy. But we're not getting that either. Like today, or last night, or whatever it was, when Solo and the MFTs, when they pinned Carmelo Hayes and won the match, then the lights go out, and all we had were the Wyatts standing up here and laughing, while Solo just showed him the lantern. Like, how is that interesting? Like, on any level. Not a spooky level, not on a creepy level. There's just nothing interesting about that. Why wouldn't the Wyatts do something? Furthermore, what happened to the Wyatts or the MFTs last week? When Solo walked out to the ring to face Randy Orton and, who did he face? Randy Orton and Aleister Black? Like, the MFTs were nowhere to be found. They should have had the MFTs like kidnapped by the Wyatts. But no, we didn't do nothing. And we addressed it this week. Though, where were your family last week when you lost? That's what Ilya said to Solo. And they just brushed it off. Like, this storyline, it was starting to heat up to a point where it was like, ooh, this is kind of interesting. What are we going to do now that they stole the lantern? But no, now we're just having stare downs again. We were having stare downs a month after SummerSlam. It's OTW says, Melo taking the pin in a match that had Apollo Crews in it just turned my stomach. And Cody versus Drew again. I guess, bro. Honestly, I'm still kind of intrigued by Cody versus Drew, which is surprising because those guys have been feuding since, a month after Mania, 2 months after Mania? So, I'm still invested in those guys, and it's a large part because of Drew McIntyre. I love Drew just doing everything he can to stop Cody from getting another shot. I love it. Now, I am hoping that it's a triple threat, though, and I usually don't want triple threats, but this one I could see. Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre triple threat at Mania. I think I'm more pro that than just Cody versus Drew. I wouldn't mind, though, Drew versus Jacob Fatu. That would be kind of cool. And you could be like, at Chamber, Cody's going to win for sure. Is he? I mean, let's say, what if Cody did win? But then Cody says, you know what? Screw WrestleMania. I want my title shot on the next SmackDown. The moment he wins the Elimination Chamber, he says, next SmackDown, that's where I'm putting up my WrestleMania spot on next SmackDown because he hates Drew McIntyre so much. And then Jacob Fatu gets involved and we got ourselves a triple threat. Now that did happen with John Cena back in the day. John Cena back in the day actually had his WrestleMania, he won the Royal Rumble, so he put his WrestleMania spot a month before Mania. We could do something like that. Tiz Mickey also says, I swear, if we get any combination of Tiffy versus Jade or Nia, I'm gonna scream. I know, Tiffy versus Jade, Tiffy versus Nia, that is not a forever feud. They do not, please don't do it again. That dominated 2024-25. Let's let Tiffany do something else, please. Teddy Boy Ward says that was a great extra little touch with the party to Liv, but they didn't even touch the Dom Perignon he brought. Did you see, during the dinner date, Dom pulls out a wine bottle and had his face on it? That's cheesy. It's cheesy and I love it. Go Buggy says, I think Trick Williams could be the next Booker T because I love what he is doing. He did this, the 5-time thing, and it definitely was a callback to Booker T. Now, he just slapped him, but I was hoping for the Spinaroonie. That place would have popped if he would have done a Spinaroonie. Please, Trick, go call Booker T and ask him if you can start using his Spinaroonie. I'm telling you. But then again, maybe not because it's already hard to keep him a heel because everybody wants to whoop that trick, but like, once you turn face, Trick, get the Spinaroonie in your repertoire. John Cena fan says 0 out of 10. Wow, I gave it like an 8 out of 10. So we are, I actually enjoyed myself. I think they're building sympathy for a Gargano face turn, says Brian Souza. I hope not. Like, Johnny Gargano as a babyface is so bland. He is like... He's like a salty cracker without the salt. He is so bland as a babyface. I'm actually kind of liking him right now in whatever state he's at. Charles Yancey says, I've been highly critical of Jade, and I gotta be highly critical of my praise. Clap, clap, clap. That match was good. Not great, but good. I was entertained. I appreciate that. I appreciate your open-mindedness that you won't just take a crap on anything because it's not your favorite character. You will look at the situation and be objective and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe I don't like the person, but this entertained me. So I kudos to you, Mr. Yancey. But I will say this: I liked the Jade match too. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. And I'm worried that Jade actually hurt herself. It looked like at first I thought she was doing a great sell job, and I was impressed that she was selling so well. But honestly, I'm worried that when she hit the ring post that. Whew, we don't need another injury. We don't need another injury, especially this close to WrestleMania. All right, boys. All right, girls. I appreciate every single one of you. Please comment below what you want to see for this week, what kind of videos you want to see, and, well, see you bye.